All right, everyone, we are back in Western Maryland today. This is the first video back from my North Carolina trip and the first video back from hitting 1,000 subscribers. So thank you to everyone that subscribed and has been supporting the channel. It's a really big milestone, so I really appreciate it. But first snakes of the day is this northern red-bellied snake, which is a big female. So I'm pretty positive that she is gravid. And then we got this young, smooth greensnake. That is really cool. Underneath the same exact rock, which is awesome to see. These two species probably overlap a lot in the range. Usually where I find one of them, I find the other. But that is really cool. Gonna snag a couple photos of these guys and let them go underneath their rocks. All right, so next find of the day is this in-shed northern red-bellied snake. But, ooh, he just pooped all over me. But even though he is in shed, he still has a really pretty belly. That is really cool. Only a couple rocks over from the red belly and the smooth green. That is cool. Love these guys. Don't get to see them enough. Which is not overly common in this county. They're just really abundant where they are found. But that is cool. I'm gonna snap a photo and let them go. Next species of the day is not a snake, but we have a northern slimy salamander, which is currently getting away. Oh, there he is. Not a species, actually very common species, but just not a species that I've shown you guys in, I think, quite a while. So I figured get one on camera today. But really cool. Just gonna grab this guy out from underneath this rock and put his rock back down and let him go back underneath. Next find of the day is this American toad that is in a burrow underneath the rock that I just flipped. That's pretty cool. This guy's pretty big, but I'm gonna take him out of here because I don't want to accidentally hurt him when I put the rock back down. That's cool. He's a pretty big toad. Nice. Well, let's stick this guy to the side. Rock back down. And I have, oh, there we go. I think you can get in right there. Cool. All right, we're gonna keep on flipping. All right, so next species of the day is this really gorgeous northern ringneck snake. This guy's big too, really big. Has a really big ringneck. But just flipped him underneath the rock. I'm just gonna snag a couple photos of this guy. Definitely try to get a photo of that belly. That's a really good looking ringneck. And then I will just release him back underneath his rock. Next species of the day is this eastern garter, which was just being grumpy. You can kind of tell he's flattened himself really out as a defense. And he's just started to poop. Really cool. This guy's got some, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but, well, you can't really see it anymore because he's not flattened out. When he's flattened out, he had some really cool blue flecks in between his scales. But cool species. Nice to get another new species for the day. I always like seeing as many species as possible as when I go out herping. But just gonna snag a photo of this guy and release him back underneath his rock. Next species of the day is this little baby eastern milk. Like I've said in my previous videos, I love these guys. They're always more vibrant than the adults. As they get older, they kind of dull out. Let's check out this guy's belly. If I could turn him around. Oh, very tall belly. I've never seen a milk snake with this little pattern on the belly. That's weird. You know, you got a few checker marks. That's really interesting. Usually these guys are really checkered up on the belly. So this is a pretty interesting looking milk. So gonna take a photo of that belly and release him back underneath his rock. All right, guys, so the next snake of the day is this timber rattlesnake. Just in a rock cut of this boulder. And this is crazy. This is a spot that I've been birding and herping all my life, and I've never seen a rattlesnake here before. That is amazing. How did you even get up there, buddy? That is so cool. Never seen one before, even though it's always looked like good habitat. But this obviously isn't a den site. I guess this guy just moved out from where his den site was from over the winter. But that is amazing. I'm gonna snag a couple photos and then I'll show you guys more of this guy. Hello everyone, it is the next day. That rattlesnake was the last snake of the day yesterday, but I have been out here for hours hiking and checking these rock outcrops for green salamanders, which would be my lifer, and they are a state endangered species in Maryland, but just shined into this crack right here and found one. So I will show you guys that in a second. All right, guys, so here it is. This is the green salamander. I just found my lifer green salamander. Look how pretty these guys are. All those green flecks in there. But that is so cool. Been looking all day, like I said, and this was gonna be the very last boulder that I was gonna check. I was about to give up. This was probably the last crack I was gonna check in this entire boulder. And here he was, just sitting pretty. Only a few inches inside of this crack. But these guys are so cool. I thought they were going to be a smaller species, but this guy is actually relatively big. But that is really cool. I'm going to wrap up the video here because I can tell he's getting a little bit annoyed with me shining this light on him. But I'm going to snap a photo real quick, and I'm probably going to call it a day for this location, since this was the only target species that I wanted for this specific spot. So going to take a few photos and then back out of here, and I might try herping one more spot today. All right, guys, so it is later in the day, and I'm at my parents' house right now, taking care of puppers over there, and decided to flip some rocks. And first snake that I found is this northern ringneck snake. He's got a stub of a tail too. So at some point in time, that was something got a hold of him. But nice pattern. He's got a couple of those black dots on the belly, which I just find interesting. Since we're so far away from any intergrade zone for these guys to be even looking kind of like a southern. But that's really cool. Just gonna take a photo and let this guy go. All right, so the next snakes of the day are these little tiny baby northern ringneck snake. And it's not a baby, but probably a year or two old eastern garter snake. They were just curled up underneath the, you just try to bite me, curled up underneath the exact same rock. But I saw another eastern garter. He slipped away underneath another rock. But I'm just gonna snag a couple photos of these guys and put them back where I found them. All right, so next snake of the day is a much bigger eastern garter snake that was just out on the crawl in the yard. This guy's actually pretty. He's got some blue in between those scales and toward his face, if he would stop squiggling. It's kind of yellow underneath his chin there, which is kind of cool, really pretty looking snake. But cool to see one out on the crawl in the yard. I'm just gonna snap a photo and let this guy go. So next species for the yard is this little Decay's brown snake, and a really gorgeous one at that. Look at that stripe down the back. Real light gray with those brown sides. That's a really cool looking Decay's brown. That is really neat. I haven't really seen one. I've definitely seen them with that gray stripe, but this one just seems to be quite bold. But that is really cool. I'm gonna take a photo of that guy and release him back underneath his rock. So next snake of the day is just another Decay's brown snake. This guy was underneath the rock right next to the last Decay's. And this is a much better example of how Decay's usually look around here. Just usually brown. Sometimes they'll be a little bit lighter on that back, but that last one was quite unique. That's cool. Just gonna take a photo and let this guy go. Next snake of the day is another northern ringneck snake. Just flipped underneath the rock. Well, I was about to say I was gonna move that guy out of the way, but I'm gonna keep on flipping these rocks and see what else we can find. All right, so the next rock over produced this eastern garter snake. About the same size as that first one that we got at the yard, but pretty cool. Just gonna move this guy out of the way and keep flipping these rocks.